This is the story of a couple who finally go on their dream European vacation, but instead, they stumble into a mystery entangled in a web of lies, betrayal, and murder. Watch the video till the end. This video is full of entertainment, and we have removed all boring parts. Enjoy. The film begins with NYPD officer Nick Spitz talking to his colleague Jimmy Stern about Nick's wife, Audrey. Nick recently failed his detective exam but hasn't told Audrey, who is a hairdresser. As they chat, they joke around, with Jimmy saying his watch predicts he'll have a heart attack, and Nick humorously comments that Jimmy looks the same as when he stares in front of the mirror. Their conversation shows that although they are colleagues, they are more like friends, always joking and caring for each other. But what happens next? Meanwhile, Audrey is at her salon, talking to a customer who is watching a TV show about unhappy marriages. Audrey mentions that Nick used to make promises, like taking her to Europe, but never followed through. She says this with a heavy heart, showing how much it hurts her. But will Nick's lie to Audrey backfire? Audrey confronts Nick about his unkept promise to take her to Europe. Nick, a notorious cheapskate, panics and lies, saying he was planning to surprise her with a trip to Europe. Audrey's overjoyed and hugs him. But is this lie the start of something bigger? Don't miss what happens next. Audrey and Nick head off to Europe. On the flight, Audrey meets Charles Cavendish in first class after moving there because of Nick's loud snoring. She tries to steal earplugs but is caught by Charles. During their conversation, Charles reveals that his fiancée recently left him to marry his uncle, a very wealthy man. Charles invites Audrey and Nick to a yacht party. Although Nick feels jealous seeing Audrey with Charles, he reluctantly agrees to go after Audrey convinces him it will be better than their budget plans. But what awaits them at the yacht party? Keep watching to find out. On the yacht, they meet several characters: Charles's ex-fiancée Susie Nakamura, cousin Toby Quince, actress Grace Ballard, race car driver Juan Carlos Rivera, and Maharaja Vikram Govindan. As the party continues, Charles's uncle Malcolm Quince arrives to thank everyone for celebrating his engagement. When he notices Nick and Audrey, he becomes suspicious because he doesn't know them. After initially wanting them to leave, he allows them to stay when he learns they are Charles's guests. But soon, the mood shifts as Malcolm announces that he is changing his will, leaving everything to Susie instead of the others, whom he calls leeches. Just before he can sign the new will, the lights go out, a gunshot is heard, and when the lights return, Malcolm is found dead, stabbed through the chest. The real danger is just beginning. What dark secrets will be revealed? Everyone is shocked by Malcolm's murder, and the mood turns tense. Audrey identifies Nick as a detective, so everyone looks to him for guidance. Nick orders everyone back to their rooms until the yacht reaches land. As Nick and Audrey discuss the situation, Nick suspects Toby, Malcolm's son, might be the killer, but Audrey thinks it's too obvious. Just as they debate their theories, they hear a gunshot and discover Toby dead from a gunshot wound to the head. The plot thickens who is the real murderer. The next morning, the yacht docks, and Inspector Laurent de la Croix arrives to question everyone. The guests all point out how strange it was to have random Americans at the party, leading de la Croix to suspect Nick and Audrey as the killers. As determined to clear their names, the couple begins investigating the other guests. Nick focuses on Charles, while Audrey, who likes Charles, thinks Nick is just jealous. But when they receive a mysterious note inviting them to another room, they find Sergei with a gun, ready to share some shocking secrets. Sergei explains how years ago, Quint stole the colonel's girlfriend, leading to tragedy. But just as he's about to reveal more, someone knocks on the door, and when Nick and Audrey come back out, Sergei has been murdered. Who's behind this string of murders? Nick and Audrey flee the scene, escaping out a window and ending up in Grace's room, where they discover she's secretly involved with Vikram. Soon after, they see de la Croix on TV, calling them the prime suspects and revealing that Nick lied about being a detective. Furious, Audrey realizes Nick also lied about planning the trip, and she storms off with Charles. But when Audrey finds Japanese allergy medicine in Charles's car, she realizes he's meeting Susie, leading her to suspect Charles and Susie are in on it together. Just then, someone starts shooting at them, forcing them to flee. They run into Juan Carlos, who takes them to Susie, but she holds them at gunpoint before being shot by a masked figure. Who is behind this assassination attempt? Then Nick and Audrey head to Charles's mansion to confront him, but find him already dead, poisoned. They panic but quickly try to piece together the clues. The remaining suspects and de la Croix arrive at the mansion, where Nick and Audrey deduce that Grace is Malcolm's long-lost child. She manipulated Toby into killing Malcolm and then killed Toby herself. When Nick and Audrey became suspicious, she tried to kill them too, and she murdered Charles out of jealousy over Susie. Grace denies everything, but Audrey finds a final clue proving she's guilty. Grace pulls a gun and takes Audrey hostage, but Nick shoots her in the shoulder, leading to her arrest. Just when it seems over, Vikram points out that Grace was with him when Sergei was killed, leading Nick and Audrey to realize that Juan Carlos is the other killer, seeking revenge for his family. But how will this thrilling mystery conclude? Stick around for the final twist. Juan Carlos takes de la Croix hostage and steals a police car, prompting Nick and Audrey Audrey to chase after him in a Ferrari. After a dramatic car chase, they crash into Juan Carlos's car, rescuing De La Croix. But Juan Carlos isn't done yet. He comes after them one last time, only to be hit by Nick and Audrey's original tour bus. In the end, De La Croix thanks the couple and promises to help Nick become a detective as a thank you. He even gives them a scenic train ride on the Orient Express. Subscribe for popcorn. We are racing towards 500 subscribers.